Good morning, Year Sixes, and happy Wednesday. This is what we've got in store for today. Here's your morning challenge. Take 10-15 minutes just to have a little go at this, just to get your brain active and awake. Okie dokie, and here is today's reading for Wolf Brother. Remember, the text is a separate PDF online. You can find that on the Year 6 home learning page. Read the chapter, and if you have some extra time in your reading time, have a go at the questions on the page. TT Rockstars time! Log on now and spend 20 minutes having a go at some TT Rockstar games. If you can't log on for whatever reason, on the next slide there are some multiplication questions that you can have a go at, and use a calculator to check your answers. Today's maths is on khanacademy.org. If you have not yet signed up to Khan Academy for our home learning, you need to go back to Monday the 8th of June's home learning video and set up an account. There's information on there on how to do it online. You don't need an email address, but do check with your parents that you can do so. If you are signed up, then log on and see today's activities. Okay guys, let's test you on yesterday's spelling. So try and spell the word inconceivable. Try and spell the word likely. And try to spell the word straight. Okay, let's have a look. How did you do? Here are the answers. Well done if you got those right, especially inconceivable. That's a tricky one. And here are today's words. So you've got sensation, nervous, and crumb. You know what to do. Spend 15 minutes practicing those and then ask somebody at home to test you on them. Today's writing task, I'd like you to go to this website and watch the next instalment of Macbeth. So where are we up to with that? And then come back to this video. Okay, so we're going to look a little bit more at this language. So if I look at this section here, this is where Macbeth is on the tower and he's walking around the castle, and it's before he kills the king, and he's going a little bit mad. So he's saying, is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle turned towards my hand. Come and let me clutch thee. So he's trying to touch the dagger. So in his mind, he can see a floating dagger and he's trying to touch it, but he can't. So he's saying, I have thee not, and yet I still see thee. So yet I see thee still. So he's saying, oh, I can't touch you, but I can still see you. So he's trying to decide here whether he's seeing something, envisioning something, whether it's because he's got a heat stroke or he's tired, or maybe he's had a few too many glasses of wine at the party, or he's going mad because he doesn't want to kill the king. It's because his lady Macbeth is persuading him to do it. She's saying, you've got to, because that's the only way you'll become king. So if we look at this bit down here, Lady Macbeth has been really mean to him. So here she's telling him to go back to the king's room and put blood on his subjects to make it look like they killed the king. But he's saying, I'm not going to do it. I didn't like it. I'm afraid. I don't want to look at what I've done. So Lady Macbeth then says infirm of purpose. So he's not able to do a job. He's infirm of what he's meant to do. He can't do it. She says, give me the daggers and I'll do it. She goes and plants the daggers and frames the servants herself. Very tricky language in this. So we are now going to pretend that we are Lady Macbeth, and you are going to imagine that it's the evening of King Duncan's murder, and you're going to write a diary explaining what has happened. So here is an example. We want to talk about how she feels guilty a little bit, maybe, or that she's happy that her plan is working, and we want it to come across that she's still really bitter and twisted, and she's the one manipulating Macbeth, persuading him to do this horrible, horrible act. So, dear diary, The plan worked successfully. I told Macbeth to act as innocent as a flower, however, to truly be the snake that hides beneath one. At one point, Macbeth had left dinner, and I found him in the study room, and he felt like he could not go through with the plan. With the darkness and strength that I felt within myself, I accused Macbeth of being a coward once again, and that he was not acting like a man who was very tough and strong. My persuasion worked, and our plan went into full force just after midnight. So here she's talking about when she persuaded Macbeth. She said, do it, you're being a coward, do it. When he was trying to do the right thing and not kill the king. So what a smart idea I had. That's showing that she's really kind of in love with herself. I cannot contain my excitement because I will soon be Queen of Scotland. Macbeth and I will rule. Macbeth carried out the plan of killing Duncan and came back with bloody daggers. Once again, Macbeth acted like a coward. He could not bring himself to go back into the room to conceal the daggers or smear blood on the servants, framing them for the crime. He stood there blubbering about blood and regret. So in that last bit, we find out when she says blubbering that she doesn't really appreciate Macbeth's being worried and scared. She thinks it's silly and he's being childish. So your job today is to write your own diary recount of the evening when Lady Macbeth and Macbeth murdered King Duncan. Good luck, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.